girl, Boss Girl T, aka Tati, and I'm here with my co-host
LB.
And today, before we start the Pretty On Podcast episode, we want to give a good shout out to
La'resha and Bri, our creative merchandise team.
Look at these shirts, y'all. Custom made, pretty on purpose. Got our names
Got a
on
little
them.
LB on the side.
Got a little Boss Girl T.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Now, before we get on to today's episode, let's talk about the topic, peer pressure. We all have peer pressure moments where somebody's just like keep egging you on to do something and you finally are just like, oh my God, okay. So let's talk about it. When was one of your peer pressure moments?
I had a lot of peer pressure growing up as a kid in New Orleans. Just coming from a crime-ridden city, there's always peer pressure to go left or right. I've encountered that since I was a youth.
I feel like times where I have peer pressure is especially at school, because like everybody's always telling you, like, if you're mean to one person, they're always like, oh, join, or like if they're doing something you know it's bad, they're always like, come on, don't be lame, and you don't want to come out as a lame person or as a nerd or as something. You just don't want to be somebody that gets quote unquote bullied or talked about, so you want to go to the popular crowd and do what they do or get in trouble when they get in trouble. One thing I learned was how to not be peer pressured.
Mm-hmm.
So what are some things you can help me with not being peer pressured as a child coming from an adult point of view?
Individuality, just being yourself. It's actually cooler to be yourself. It's cooler to stand out from the crowd. You're not meant to walk with the crowd at all because you're your own human being. So some of the things I can give you, just, for example, listen to your own self. When you have that little inner thought, that inner person that's talking to you, I'm not talking about your crazy side. I'm talking about the inner person that's talking to you. It's like, hey, Tatiana, this is right, this is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Listen to the inner person. I'll tell you, go with your gut.
Okay. For me, I feel like there's been times where my gut told me the wrong thing and I have gotten in trouble for it. But I learned that, like, when being peer pressured, you have to understand, do you really want to do it? If you don't want to do it, don't push yourself to do it.
Correct.
Because I've seen plenty of videos online telling people like, oh my God, let's jump into this river, or let's do this. And it's just like mean, petty pranks that people do or want to be funny. When really, if you're telling yourself or you second guess yourself about how you feel, I just know, okay, I'm not even going to do it.
Well, we all make mistakes. You say you've come across the times when you made a decision that was a bad choice for yourself. Well, we're all going to make bad choices. Let's be clear.
Yeah.
But do you learn from those choices? Do you learn from those mistakes? That's the only key to success when you're dealing with peer pressure. Learn from it, past it, never do it again. If it's something in the negative.
Okay, so what if it's positive peer pressure? Like, for example, what if I want to start something and you're just putting so much pressure on me, like, Tati, you got this, like, you can do it. How can you tell the difference, like, when somebody's peer pressuring you to do a bad thing or when somebody's peer pressuring you to do a good thing? Because some people can get mixed signals. Well,
if you're about to do something bad. You kind of get that little warm feeling inside your gut. Plus, the person who's normally trying to peer pressure to do something bad, they normally don't do the thing they're asking you to do. They don't do it first.
Yeah.
They always ask you to do it first, and then they'll follow. 9 times out of 10, they're trying to tell you to do the wrong thing.
Yeah. Well, I think personally ways to avoid peer pressure again is like just get with the right crowd.
Yeah.
There's plenty of times where you'll grow up, especially me since I just started high school. I'm pretty sure there's going to be certain crowds that I know, okay, like you are doing bad things, you're not doing this right. And then I know there's going to be crowds where I'm like, okay, I can hang out with you because you're going to motivate me to do the right thing. Personally, for me, I feel like I have been in a bad crowd. They weren't like, oh my God, getting arrested and stuff. But like, I was put in situations where I had to like get out of my comfort zone. So have you ever been in a crowd where you had to get out of your comfort zone and like check them, or like had to look back and like, I can't be friends with you?
Absolutely. I do it all the time. I mean, if I see something that I don't like, I'm just not doing it. That comes from your own confidence, your inner confidence. You said something that was very interesting a few sentences back. You said, if they're not going to motivate me to do something right, then you're hanging with the wrong crowd. The crowd that's going to motivate you to do the right things are going to catapult you to be successful in life. You never want to hang with the crowd that says, you know what, you don't have to do your homework today. Oh, skip this or skip that, or you know what, if you're working out, today's not leg day, don't worry about it, girl, let's go out drinking and things to that sort. That's not the person you want to be with. You want to have a good friend that's going to be on you, good, bad, and indifferent. It's going to tell you what's actually up versus trying to sway you to do something different.
Okay, so now that we got in the way of friends being peer pressuring, let's talk about parents to kids being peer pressured.
Oh, okay, whoa, all
I
right.
feel like a lot of kids get peer pressure to do a lot of things. If it's joining a sport, if it's watching or just doing something they know they don't want to do, or they know they
You're
just
right.
not into it. How can you get out of that?
Well, it starts with the parents. Let me just say that first. Just being a parent, it starts with me. I cannot live my life through my kids. And mostly when parents are peer pressuring their kids, is because they're trying to live their life through their kids. Everyone's life is individual. Everyone has something on their mind that's separate from what the other person wants. So I take it to all the parents out there. If you are a football star, or if you are a great singer, or if you are a great teacher, don't force your kids to do the things that you did in your life or that you're doing in your life. And the reason why, I was listening to, I can't remember exactly who it was, but it was an NBA player, and he was saying that his kids, all they do is play arcade games all the time, Xbox, PlayStation, etc. So instead of him taking that Xbox from them, or taking away something that they actually enjoy doing, he said, well, how about I try to enroll them in some type of computer science class, or how about I try to enroll them in engineering, or show them a little bit about what computers do. So try to sway them into what they like, and eventually they'll figure out what they really want to do in life.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure I went through many phases in life. Like, I want to be a ballerina.
Yeah.
I want
I know.
I want to be a doctor. I probably went through like many phases before finding out what I truly
don't want to peer pressure you, but you being a doctor, I'm not a doctor, so I don't think it's peer pressure. But I think it's a good thing to practice medicine and kind of change the world.
Yeah.
But you tried a couple of good things, singing. You know how that went.
I'm a great singer.
Okay, but I want you to do what you feel comfortable doing.
Do you think as a child, your parent, which is grandma, do you ever think she peer pressured you to do something, especially growing up in such a rough life?
Yes and no. I would say my mother did peer pressure me into doing maybe things that I did not want to do. But on the other hand, because the way I grew up, my mom also pressured me to be a good person, a great man, a great provider, because of the circumstances that we were in. So she pressured me to be better in life, I must say. She did.
I feel like when there's times where your parent is pressuring you, let's say like to play a game like football, I feel like you're not really being pressured if after you do it, you enjoy it and want to keep doing it.
Right. Always try something.
Yeah.
Always try something once, at least once.
Yeah, because if you don't try it, then you're never going to know if you didn't like it.
Right.
Personally, for me, I feel like I never got peer pressure. I feel like you guys always just let me do my own thing, even if I was bad at it. Good support team over here.
Yeah, we're a support team. That's what we're here for. You were bad at some things, though.
No, I was. I was good at everything.
You're amazing. You're an
Yeah.
amazing person.
Yeah.
You should know that.
But I think there's times where parents peer pressure you because they think it's good for you. Like there's moments where your parent might just think this decision will be good for you in the future. You may not know now, but it will be better for you in the future.
We try to set you up for the right road possible. We're all going to divvy off from that road every once in a while, but we just try to put you in the right path. That's all that was about.
Do you remember any peer pressuring moment you had on specifically me and Layla, since that was your time of more being stricter parents?
I think I peer pressured you to be little ladies more than anything. I pressured you to conform in my mind, and it probably sounds chauvinist, in my mind what I thought a lady would be. I looked after my mother, I looked after your grandmother, I looked after your mother, and I wanted to try to mimic as much as those three ladies as I possibly can inside of you, because I know what type of influence they had on me. and the way they made me think, the way they made me feel, the way they made me feel loved. So I try to pressure you to be exactly, in some sorts, kind of like them. And me.
You're great. It's okay.
Thank you.
Perfect. So to end this topic, I want to ask one more question.
Sure.
Do you think when parents, friends, or anything, when they're pressuring a male friend or a male, their son, versus a female friend or their daughter, it's different? Like, do you think you pressured me and Layla harder than you pressured King and Prince? Or do you think you will push your male friends harder than what you will push when
It all depends on the circumstance, to be honest with you. You know, I've pressured King in aspects of his life that I had never done with you and Layla.
Mm-hmm.
And I've done vice versa, you know, for King and Prince and you and Layla. I've done it in different aspects. I don't feel like I've categorized, oh, because they are a girl, this is what I'm going to do, or because they're my sons, this is what I'm going to do. I think that for every little instance that pops up, I find some way to try, it sounds so bad saying this, to control it.
Yeah.
I try to control it as much as I possibly can, but the control is for the better, not to control your life.
Well, you guys, that is the end of today's episode. Make sure you stay tuned because we have a back-to-back episode this week. So we'll see you guys next episode. Bye.